We sifted through hundreds of pages of documents from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. This information was gathered over a 5-year period. Engineers are still trying to calculate how much all of this damage will cost. This road right here estimated to cost up to $20,000 to fix. Officials are working and hoping to get FEMA assistance. If not, it comes out of the county's pocket. Val, of course, this will take some time, a few weeks before this road will be back open. Deals are in the works to fill this 43,000 square foot building, which most recently housed the Sports Authority, and leaders believe the new store is destined to have a ripple effect on Eastern Boulevard. We are right outside River Rock Stadium, and if you look around the corner, you can see the Biscuits parking deck. Now, for anyone who would like to march from the beginning, any given night in the capital city, there are more than 100 children who are staying in shelters, in cars, or living on the streets. We know there are at least 15 who are actually sleeping in cars or abandoned homes. Although it seems high, some experts believe that number will only continue to climb. Val, I think we really need to learn that cheer. Maybe we can even be doing that in the newsroom every day and get everyone pumped up. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. A little special cheer just for us.
This is fun to meet the folks who contribute.
That's right. It's been a blast out here. It really has been fun to meet all of our viewers, even some of the youngest viewers out here. And although it was fun for us, I can tell you all of them had one goal in mind, and that was to help those in need. Penny Galt Health says she has a love and need to give back.
It gives me great pleasure to know that I'm helping out families that are less fortunate than I am.
Galt Health drove up and donated several bags of food loaded with canned goods. She made sure to do so with her grandchildren, hoping to make a difference in their lives as well.
That makes you a well-rounded person, and it makes you a very giving person, and it makes you compassionate and have empathy for those that don't have as much as you have.
We need to actually teach our children that this is the way we need to actually bring them up, to know that they need to actually share and, give back to the community as much as they can.
Johnetta White agrees it's important to show young people what it's like to help others, even people you may never even meet.
It's really a hard time right now. People are struggling, and I understand that. We all need to reach out and help one another as much as we can.
And you can see we just had some people come and donate and help out as well. And we are still out here. We're going to be out here until 6:30. So you do have a little bit more time. Come on out, come say hey and donate. Now take a look. We are driving along one of the deadliest roadways in Montgomery right now, the Eastern Boulevard. It's one of many accident hotspots. Tonight we expose the 5 deadliest.
It can happen in a blink of an eye. Crushing metal, loss of a life, accidents that may have been prevented. After poring over new data, the 12 News defenders found some areas statistically more prone to deadly crashes. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, during a 5-year span between 2009 to 2013, there were 3,952 deadly accidents in our state, resulting in 4,322 fatalities.
You know it happens, but you don't really think of it ever happening to you when you're driving.
It's really hard because my dad died from a car accident.
We focused on 11 counties in our area: Chilton, Autauga, Elmore, Montgomery, Macon, Lee, Butler, Lowndes, Pike, Dallas, and Tallapoosa. Of those, Montgomery had the most fatalities with 134. And there are particular roadways which seem to be especially dangerous. I-85 in Lee County recorded the most fatalities with 26 deaths and 22 crashes in just 5 years.
You would think the deadliest places would be at big intersections in Montgomery.
I mean, I think that's awful, but when you think about the demographics, we have a lot of students. There's a lot of people traveling, major thoroughfare between Atlanta and Montgomery.
Most of the ones I have that have been fatal have been on Interstate 85.
Jeremy Jones is an EMT and a volunteer firefighter in Lee County. He also spent 10 years as a communication officer. He says without a doubt, I-85 can be dangerous.
I've worked regs as far as south as the 47-mile marker all the way up to the county line.
I-65 in Chilton County was the second deadliest area, 16 crashes, killing 21 people. There's one place in Montgomery that's nearly as bad, the bypass, which encircles the city.
Definitely on the boulevard after 5 o'clock, I don't come this way.
Every day. It's a non-going stop.
Mark Norsworthy is a tow truck driver in the capital city, responding to wrecks several times a day. In his opinion, the worst wreck hotspot is the Eastern Bypass. He says on a typical day, he alone responds to at least 5 crashes.
It's got a high volume of wrecks on the boulevard. People don't pay attention. They're always in a hurry. They don't think about the consequences.
And the statistics back him up. Along the bypass, there were 20 deaths and 20 crashes over 5 years, the 3rd deadliest roadway in our area.
They're averaging anywhere from 45 to 55 miles an hour. And if you're not paying attention, stuff can happen real quick.
Highway 14 in Elmore County is 4th deadliest on the list, 13 wrecks with 16 dead. And rounding out the top 5, I-85 in Montgomery, where there were 15 fatalities and 11 accidents.
See there? On its phone.
Officials say distracted driving is a major cause of accidents, along with speeding and driving under the influence. And many people who died were not wearing a seatbelt.
Currently in 2015, we're around 70% of the victims of trooper work fatalities. The victims have not been wearing seatbelts.
Corporal Jess Thornton says there are things you can do to keep you and your loved ones safe. First and foremost, obey the laws, wear your seatbelt, and make sure everyone else is buckled in as well. And pay attention to the drivers around you.
You can't control the person in front of you, behind you, or beside you. So I would always be attentive to what's going on with my surroundings, because a lot of times we work crashes where that crash could have been prevented.
But I watch out for the other person. I mean, I know how to drive. There's a lot of other people that don't.
We do want to point out some of those fatalities did involve pedestrians. Now, the state offers a driver improvement course at no charge, but because of a lack of funding and manpower, state troopers currently only offer it to large groups. You can send requests via their website. By the way, some insurance companies will offer a discount upon completion. Churches should not be fearful. Right now, Vacation Bible School is going on here, and the doors are unlocked. Reverend James Arnell has been the pastor here for 25 years. He says safety plans are in place, including security officers, but now he's planning to beef up security, including possible security cameras and other measures. Arnell has been to the Charleston church where the shooting happened. He knew the pastor and senator who was killed. Reverend Arnell says the country must now come together.
It's a very dark moment for the church, but this is also the church's greatest opportunity to bring healing within congregations, outside the congregations, and healing among all people, that we come together as one.
Now, we do want to let you know there will be a community-wide prayer service that will be held here at St. John's AME. It will be tomorrow starting at 12. Mark, everyone is encouraged to attend. We're following breaking news as yet another mass shooting erupts overnight, this time in Pennsylvania, casting a grim shadow over this Father's Day morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah Lane. A manhunt is underway in Philadelphia as police search for a gunman they say randomly opened fire on innocent families. 4 adults and at least 3 children were hit, including a toddler who was struck in the neck, an 11-year-old who was shot twice, and a 13-year-old shot in the chest. All the victims were taken to the hospital in critical condition.
It's been chaos trying to stabilize this 2-year-old on scene with the medics. We're just getting things under control. We're going to work through the investigative part of it, try to determine what actually happened out here.
Police have not released any information about the suspect or suspects responsible. And another block party, this one in Michigan, also ended in tragedy last night. Police said at least 400 people were enjoying barbecue when a gunman opened fire and shot at least 10 people in West Detroit, killing a 21-year-old man. Although there are several hundred potential witnesses to the crime, police say no one is talking to them about what happened.
Dare they have a good time on a Saturday? That's what ticks me off. There's kids out here. I'm livid. And there's no excuse. There's not any excuse why no one's not talking.
Investigators believe one man was the intended target of the shooting. Follow WSFA 12 News on Facebook and Twitter for the latest. And happening right now in South Carolina, the doors of the Charleston Church are open once again this morning, 4 days after 9 innocent men and women were gunned down inside Wednesday night while attending a Bible study. Thousands of people have gathered to support a community that has lost so much. A special service you see right there is underway at Emmanuel AME Church as friends, family, and even strangers pray for healing. We'll have more from Charleston and the rest of today's top news in just a few minutes. But first, a look outside on what's been a beautiful start to this Father's Day. And as you get ready to head out the door this morning, meteorologist Vernon Turner is tracking the forecast. Good morning, Vernon.
Good morning, Hannah. And yes, it is a very beautiful start. Most of us aren't even seeing a cloud in the sky.
Now, this is WSFA 12 News, today in Alabama.
Good Sunday morning. I'm Hannah Lane. Thanks for joining us. We'll have the top stories in just a minute. But first, meteorologist Vernon Turner is tracking your Sunday forecast. Vernon, all eyes on the weather after a stormy day yesterday.
Yes, stormy yesterday, stormy this morning already. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for our area.
Yesterday's weather put a damper on Montgomery's picnic on the river. Most of the events were canceled, but there was a good crowd before Mother Nature decided to show up. Decked out in red, white, and blue, River Region residents were ready for a 4th of July celebration. And although most of the events were canceled, residents say it's still important, rain or shine, to remember what Independence Day is truly about.
I think it's really important that we all come together and celebrate things like this. Everyone can see us coming together as one, and that means a lot to people.
Celebration of Independence Day with family, friends, barbecue, fireworks.
It's just an opportunity for me as a father to instill a little bit of patriotism in my children.
Hour late, and when they finally did start, we're told it was a letdown, with the show only lasting about 5 minutes. Montgomery Biscuits in the city sent out an apology early this morning, saying in no way does this fireworks show meet the standards people deserve during the important holiday celebration. A makeup show is set for Saturday, July 18th as part of the Star Wars night. We'll have more on this coming up today at 5 and 10. Well, Montgomery wasn't the only place which felt the effects from Mother Nature. Both Troy's and Tuskegee's fireworks show were postponed until tonight. In Troy, the show is scheduled for 9 at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The city of Tuskegee will also start the show around 9 over Lake Tuskegee. In Kentucky, what should have been a celebration for America's birthday quickly turned deadly. A boat crashed and overturned in the Ohio River during 4th of July festivities in downtown Louisville. So far this morning, 2 people have been found dead by rescue crews and 3 others are still missing. Raycom reporter Kayla Vanover was at the scene and spoke to a young boy who says he saw the boat crash.
Louisville Fire confirms that 9 people were aboard the 20-foot pontoon when crews found it against a barge near the new bridge construction.
Officials say the boat may have struck a bridge, but there are conflicting reports about what exactly caused it to flip. The search has resumed this morning. Covering Crenshaw County, 5 people were seriously injured after a crash on Highway 331. State troopers tell us 2 vehicles were involved in the accident Saturday at mile marker 70. The preliminary investigation indicates the crash was alcohol related. New details this morning on the dangers of an iPhone case. The cases are shaped like a gun. Although some may think they are a fun accessory, police officers say they could bring you unwanted attention and even harm. Raycom reporter Josh Gant explains why you may want to think twice before getting one.
They're being marketed as trendy and fashionable, and they look like guns, but they're actually iPhone cases.
Covering news across America, the home of the nation's first president hosted an Independence Day ceremony welcoming 100 new American citizens. The event in Virginia featured a dramatization of General George Washington inspecting his troops and addressing the new citizens. CIA Director John Brennan spoke about the privilege and responsibility of citizenship. In addition to the 100 naturalized at Mount Vernon, about 4,000 immigrants became citizens at ceremonies held this week in all 50 states. Well, Massachusetts State Police are asking for the public's help in identifying a young girl whose body was found on the shore of Deer Island last week. Police are hoping this computer-generated image of what the girl may have looked like will help positively identify her. Investigators believe the girl was about 4 years old when she died. Her body was found by a woman walking her dog. Police have launched a social media plea to the public, which has so far gotten over 30 million views.
Obviously, the public is very, very engaged in this.
Because of the tips they've received, authorities have been able to rule out several well-publicized cases involving missing girls, but are still looking for leads. Well, it's been a wet start to our morning, but what's in store for the rest of the day? Vernon Turner is in with your forecast next.